job and entrepreneurial program in the public and private sectors.
The very foundations of our democracy so threatened by unimaginable levels of arrogance, of intolerance, of violence.
Details as he accuses President Akufo-Addo of presiding over corruption, nepotism and stagnation of the economy.
4 years of nepotism, 4 years of corruption. This will be a referendum on the term of a president who has no real solutions for Ghana.
We also hear from Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman urging police to prosecute persons involved in the killing of the 90-year-old woman accused of witchcraft. Also coming up, President Akufo-Addo condemns killing of 90-year-old woman accused of witchcraft in the Savannah region and urges police to ensure justice is served.
I hope that the quick response of the police will lead to the rapid administration of justice in this unfortunate matter.
In business, Bank of Ghana cites internal banking staff as accomplices in recent mobile money fraud that hit the financial sector. We've got more at 6:15.
We'll also tell you about a gas explosion at a refinery in the central region town of Akwaboso, which has destroyed 5 homes, killing 2 persons and seriously injuring 3 others. This is your election headquarters. Let's start with some politics now. NDC flag bearer John Mahama has announced his major policies ahead of the polls in December. Speaking at a ceremony to outdoor Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman as his running mate last night, the former president said he will put in place policies that will create at least 250,000 jobs every year and then also institute respect for rule of law and run a government for all.
An aggressive job and entrepreneurial program in the public and private sectors that will deliver a minimum of 250,000 jobs every year and a total of more than 1 million jobs across the country by the end of my term in office in 2024.
He accused President Akufo-Addo of presiding over corruption, nepotism and collapse of the economy.
4 years of nepotism, 4 years of corruption. This will be a referendum on the term of a president who has no real solutions for Ghana. A president who is hell-bent on doing whatever it takes to stay in power, including against sound advice, replacing the very voters register which brought him into office.
John Mahama also announced that when elected into power, he will introduce Operation Sting to fight corruption.
Operation Sting will be an anti-corruption crusade which under my watch will involve massive, far-reaching and practical government reform. It will be a ruthless system that fights against all corrupt political appointees and public sector workers.
Flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama. Meanwhile, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman is calling on minority groups to support her in championing their rights. Delivering her maiden speech at the ceremony to outdoor her, she pledged to represent the views and concerns of the vulnerable.
I will carry your voices forward. Together we can make this happen. It will be my mission to ensure that the voices and concerns of our children, our youth, our aged, and our persons with disabilities are reflected in critical decisions.
She also called on the police to prosecute perpetrators in the killing of the 90-year-old woman accused of witchcraft.
I call on our security agencies to convince us that she has not died in vain. The very foundations of our democracy so threatened by unimaginable levels of arrogance, of intolerance, of violence, of human beings playing God, our economy struggling, our tongues tied to the roof of our mouths. We shouldn't be here in the 21st century.
NDC running mate Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Let's stay on this unfortunate incident a while longer because President Akufo-Addo has also condemned the killing of the 90-year-old woman, describing it as barbaric and unfortunate. At the commission of a 5 million cedi water project at Yape in the central Gonja district of the Savannah region, he urged police to ensure the delivery of justice in the matter.
I will make an appropriate contribution also to the Acquired Delta Foundation to express my own revulsion at the awful tragic act that has occurred in this region, that it should not happen again, and we should all work together to ensure that never again do such acts disfigure the face of our nation. I hope that the quick response of the police will lead to the rapid administration of justice in this unfortunate matter.
President Akufo-Addo. Regional Minister Salifu Adam Brahima says a foundation has been set up to honor the memory of the deceased. He says police has made significant progress in its investigations, which will lead to the arrest of the culprits.
And Madam Akua Foundation in his memory and honor, and to say clearly to the world that never again. Mr. President, I can report that the police are on the heels of the perpetrators of this heinous crime. Tremendous progress has been made toward the apprehension and prosecution of all those involved. Mr. President, Her Excellency Mr. Rebecca Akufo-Addo, who has already sent a delegation to Kafala to comfort the people.
Regional Minister Salifu Adam Brahima. Gas explosion at a refinery in the central region town Akubusu has destroyed 5 homes, killing 2 persons and seriously injuring 3 others. The deceased were working with a gas cylinder when it exploded. The Aso District Commander DSP Osei Edu Ajiman gave these details to a humanitarian of our security desk. Listener discretion is advised, as details of what police found at the scene could be disturbing.
We saw that the agency's premises was completely demolished. It was totally shattered. We also found that there was this guy they gave the name as Akosi, who was the one who was refining the goods. We found a dismembered, scattered body all around, and we were told that was the body of Akosi. So we had to go around, gather all those pieces of the tissues, the body, and other things. Some were even found hanging on rooftops. We had to remove all these and then put them in a polythene bag.
The Aso District Commander DSP Osei Edu Ajiman. Interior Minister Ambrose Derry says stringent measures have been rolled out in the country's training schools to avoid spread of COVID-19 among recruits after cases were recorded at the Paul Lugu Training School. The school is said to have recorded 83 cases of the disease. Mr. Derry says all of the patients have now recovered.
By His grace and in consonance with the foregoing protocol stated, all the recruits who were infected or affected have recovered and are in training.
The Interior Minister has also been speaking on specific measures to avoid spread of COVID-19 in training schools.
Measures adopted include 1. Continuous education of trainees to observe the protocols of COVID-19. 2. Establishment of isolation centers at the training schools to house those suspected to have contacted the virus.
Interior Minister Ambrose Derry. The entire community used to fetch water from a small pond filled with filth. Now residents of the eastern regional town of Domiabra, a town once saddled with waterborne diseases, shared their stories of change since Promasidor Ghana Limited, producers of cowbell, intervened to construct a mechanized borehole there. Here is Joy News' Justice Beidou with a report.
Brownish and covered by weeds. For many years, this has been the source of drinking water for the people of Domiabra here in the eastern region. Like many other communities here in the Kwaebibrem district where it is located, this is a very deprived community. It has only recently been connected to the national grid. But its challenges with water has always been a major source of worry for its people, constantly blamed for the high cases of waterborne diseases in the area.
Water is life. Without water, life is hard. I know some people even walk on the desert because there is no water there. Some die.
We are very happy to invest in our community and to redeem our pledge, which we made a year ago, to provide a borehole in this community.
I'm grateful to Cowbell and also to God, and grateful that they thought about Domiabra, my town.
Justice Beidou's reports. Today's Arrival Live message. On my way to work this morning, I saw a broken down truck in the middle of the highway. But this time, it had a warning triangle at an appreciable distance warning motorists about the danger ahead. That is how to help your fellow humans to arrive alive. Arrive Alive tips on the 6 a.m. news brought to you by Bedrock Insurance Company Limited. Bedrock Insurance, protecting the things you truly value, and Toyota Ghana Limited, Toyota, superior quality. That'll be all for the 6 a.m. news.